Janie Cole, let us know when the audio reaches you and you're connected.
I am connected.
Yay, there she is.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm on the move right now.
You're on the move. Everyone's moving.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the move right now. I'm gonna stay as long as I can, but I will probably have to dip out early.
That's okay. I think that you're going to be here for exactly what you need to hear. And I just set the intention that everybody gets exactly what they need from today's sessions with the time that we have.
Awesome.
Super good to have you. I am going to invite a couple more people who express that they need to be here, which I just know that they do. Cool.
I'm in the waiting room on my computer too, Mira.
Okay. Thank you for saying that, because I may have people in the waiting room without noticing. Okay, there he is. Boom. Okay, so I'm just gonna get us going. Welcome, Monday Mastermind, a very special edition. I just recovering from not being able to speak for 4 days. That was my very own silent retreat, so to speak. And during that time, I did a lot of deep listening to myself. And as you know, I also get guidance for each of you, because we're just freaking all synced up in this universe. So I know that whether you join live, like Tommy and Janie Cole, or you're coming in from the replay or from the future, or you're in the live stream, there's something here for you. And I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to find out together. You may notice in my voice that it's still recovering. I'm like 75 to 85% recovered. And I feel like I'm taking a lot of self-care. So there's a message here about self-care, taking time off, like fighting the urge to do work and be busy. That's been very important. I think we all need to learn, and we need to undo the conditioning of sort of the hustle mentality and culture of just working harder to get somewhere, because our bodies are going to be revolting and we'll pay the price later on. Yeah, and my camera is not on at the moment. That's intentional. It will actually help me conserve my energy. So forgive me for not showing up in my beautiful greatness. If you guys want to stay on camera, though, I prefer that, so you can have that interaction and exchange with each other. So beautiful. Let's go ahead and take a few breaths together. I know Jenny Cole's on the move. Tommy just landed in his apartment. People are going to be joining in different circumstances. And so let's all kind of sync up. And all we're going to do is take 3 progressive breaths together. And so what we're going to do is fully breathe in through the nose and fill up our bellies there. On 3, 1, 2, 3. And let go of the past on the exhale. Breathe fully in. Let go of any ideas of the future or anxiety to really drop into this present moment on the exhale. Oh. On this next breath in, I want you to fully arrive in your body, in your presence here now, and fully in. And breathe this next breath all the way down through your vertebra into the ground, arriving in the here now. Cool, beautiful. Welcome. I'm super excited to be with you guys. It's been a wild Scorpio season, which is a lot of people had experiences with death and healing, traumas coming up in different ways over the last month or so. And each of us have been impacted by that in different ways, whether it's directly, indirectly, or just being part of the collective. We're coming into a new season, and there's always a death and rebirth with the winter season. And one of the big lessons that came through for me, what's important to share here is two things. Three actually. Self-awareness, which is part of clarity, one of my pillars that I'm born to share with the world. Clarity creates reality as a principle. So I want to remind you guys of the tools that we've been given by Roger James Hamilton, the author of the Millionaire Master Plan, and check in with each other on our progress of the wealth lighthouse spectrum. And I want to share with you the power of commitment. The universe conforms to commitment. And literally, as soon as we do become committed, we are literally cutting ourselves off from all other options. And so it's self-awareness, the clarity around who you are and where you're at in your progression, and commitment. And really that comes to yourself and your self-care. And, not feeling like the need to be busy or having to do things and operate from obligation, but really operating from joy. So, of course, as always, this is Monday Mastermind. You're going to have your biggest questions answered, your biggest problems solved. So make sure that's part of the deep listening space. We get super crystal clear on what your needs are, where you're at. So coming into the call, in good old tradition, I would love to hear what have been your biggest accomplishments. Tommy just celebrated our first year of working together completed, and that's really powerful. And I know you've just gone through some personal development challenges and opportunities and growth moments as well. And Janie Cole has been living her absolute freaking dream life, doing rounds after rounds with the Book of Mormon on Broadway, which is such an incredible manifestation. And so I'm curious, just coming into the call, what are your biggest accomplishments? And with that, your single biggest challenge. What is the single biggest challenge that you're personally dealing with? And by all means, this doesn't necessarily need to be business, because our personal energy, the way we show up in the world is going to reflect the way we show up in our business. And we are the foundation of our business. So with that, if you can, type in the comment box. I may call on you individually. And I have a few announcements as well. We're gonna cover everything one at a time. Let's see.
All right, what are we putting in the chat?
Accomplishments, what are you celebrating? And then also, what is your single biggest challenge in this moment? Good question. Now, I was feeling like I was really struggling, I'm gonna be honest with you, having to not work for 4 days when I had so many goals and everything I want to accomplish. I struggled, so I had to make a list. So I decided, hey, I wasn't feeling good. So I just, actually Nikki prompted me. She said, what have you accomplished this year? And I started making a list, months from each month, all of the accomplishments for this year. And it's really astounding. Not just what, I and we have accomplished as Manifest X, but you guys' accomplishments have been incredible. So I want to give you guys a moment to just reflect too. This exercise never fails. When you list and just become aware of what you have accomplished, it is so powerful. This will beat any thoughts and ideas of not having done enough. I know I'm not the only one who feels like doing more and more and more, and always feels like there's more left to do. And it's easy to fall into the trap of not having done enough. So let's take a look. Seeing some responses. Yay, 10 buyers from the last retreat. Congratulations. I am curious what that's translated to for sales. Of course, having a buyer is actually way more valuable than sort of cash money, because that's an opportunity to serve another person to change their life. And when we set up our businesses really well with our sort of 7-figure ascension, then our structures and the way we structure our offers, we can serve a single client for years, and so that's huge. Do you want to share more about that win, Tommy?
Sure. I had a sales goal and I had a buyer's goal, and what's up, Mira?
What's up?
And my sales goal from the trip was to make 200K in sales from the retreat. And my buyer's goal was to create 10 buyers out of the total of 20 people who attended. I think there was like 16 or 17 potential buyers, so about 60% conversion of the attendees.
That's wonderful.
And that was my goal, and I achieved it. Some of those buyers, have bought a full year package for like $22,000. Others have bought one session for $300, but they're still buyers. And I think of them as long-term relationships that are going to continue to see me as a resource for them and continue to build trust, and know that when the shit does hit the fan, if it's not the right time now, that they know who to recommend or who to reach out to.
That's super great. I also know that you being a steel genius, you have a lot of sort of communication systems in place, whether it's through texting or email, that you can continue nurturing your buyers list with new offers and new opportunities and new value posts, etc., to continue serving these guys and as they ascend your sort of value ladder and everything. So snaps for Tommy, everybody. That's huge. Like, you hit your retreat goal, and it took a little bit longer than expected, but it happened, and so that's really great.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that it was funny is that the like systems and stuff is, I feel like, where my bottleneck is. So maybe that'll be something that just like comes easily at some point, but at this point it's actually been like I've been very much like a bespoke coach and a bespoke salesperson in almost every way, and creating the systems, like the funnels and the welcome sequences, has been kind of like a energy leak for me, and they've been
beautiful.
That's
really good to be aware of. So let's see how that translates to our language in the wealth dynamics world. I have the book here in front of me. Oh, you can't see it. Sometimes I forget that when I'm on camera or not. Okay. Cool. So what I'm hearing you say is, so you're a steel genius, and you're saying that your bottleneck is having systems in place, including onboarding sequence, etc. Is that correct?
I would say that is a challenge. I was writing down a different biggest challenge. We could talk about both, but
yeah, let's we can kind of pair the challenge question with the assessment of where you're at on this, like how that relates to the lighthouse in the here. I'm going to show you. There's a picture I want to show you for all of you. Here we go. You guys see the lighthouse? And it goes from like ultraviolet at the top. Ultraviolet is like legendary at the top, to infrared, which is a victim at the bottom, and then it goes up from infrared to red, the survivor. Orange is worker. Yellow is player. Green performer. Blue conductor. Indigo is trustee. Violet is composer. And ultraviolet is legend. So legend, we're talking about like billionaire level, like creating markets and like creating currencies and like really, running markets on a high level. So that's super fucking advanced. Where would you say you are on the wealth spectrum on the lighthouse? Level 1, again, is infrared victim level, and this is for everybody. I would love for you to give yourself a self-assessment. Red is like a survivor. Number two, which we're a survivor, meaning, going from, paycheck to paycheck kind of thing, just like trying to survive. Orange is worker, is like you're kind of like in the trenches, you're doing the work. That's level 3. And a yellow is player, and green is performer. I may need to refresh the distinction between the two, I believe. And then blue is conductor. So conductor is the level when all your teams are in place and you don't really personally do the work as much as you have your systems, your people do the work. And I think that is still the target for many of us. So would you say you're more on a green performer level, yellow player level, or would you rate yourself?
I feel the same way as you. I need to refresh the difference.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm a worker or yellow or green. I'm not sure. Let me see. I need to.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. Here we go.
Oh, I'm not seeing my book here. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I think I would guess that you're going from orange level worker to yellow level player, where orange level, it's still very much mastering your personal flow. And then the enterprise level, the yellow level, you're starting to master the flow of other people, starting leveraging other people and other assets and other things.
I think I'm a yellow because I can attract business really well, but everything revolves around me. So my income still relies on me showing up, and the money stops when I stop. And so,
great. So
yeah.
for you want to look at going from steel yellow to
Steel green.
Steel green. Beautiful. Which is, what do they call the green person again?
Performer.
Performer. Absolutely great. Great. So let's use that as a guiding path where to focus on based on the season that you're in. Let's so I want you to take a look at that and just pinpoint, like I want you to walk away knowing exactly where you're at and what your next strategy is to rise up the lighthouse. Okay.
Okay.
We'll come back to you. I want to see if we can support Janie Cole in getting this level clarity too.
She fell off, actually.
We lost her.
You can see. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let me see. Okay, perfect. Well, more quality time for Tommy. I also think that
it says the steps out of yellow are the opposite of what got you here. You relied on independence to get here and need to switch to interdependence to get out.
What page are you on?
I'm on page 37. It means giving up on the idea that only you can do what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. That is so spot on with what we talked about with the delegating, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also why it's so perfect that I dropped the the job scorecard template into your private client folder.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's so weird. I don't get notifications when you just drop something into my folder. It's only when you share it with me. So I don't even know how to access it.
Beautiful. I can point you in the right direction, and we can go over it. We can go over it one-on-one. But I think at a minimum, I want you to have eyes on it so that you can see it. So have you ever accessed your client folder? It's called Tommy. That's the name of the folder. And let me check it. And what we're going to do is we're going to find your biggest sort of limiting belief in your ascension to the next level. And we're going to create something so you know where to create evidence that you can, whatever it is, whether it's you can't trust other people to do work for you, whatever the case may be. Like we're going to just break the mold to rise up.
Okay. I just found Role Scorecard. Yeah. Is that it?
That might be it.
2x.
Oh yeah. It doesn't say like copy of it says copy of old, which is not the best titling. But it's from 2x.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay, right. So I like this document a lot. I'm gonna walk you through to the level I understand. Massive shout out to Austin Metzley, who's the founder of 2x. Fucking crushes it at business. He wrote the book From 6 to 7 Figures, and is an epic human being. You should buy all of his things. Amazing human being. So I got this from buying one of his Mastermind workshops or whatever. And yeah, so as I'm working with my ads manager, I'm looking at, dude, I wish I had implemented this when we started, you know? I wish I'd implemented this when we started. This is the type of thing that when you have this complete, my intention for you, Tommy, is that you have crystal clarity on how to communicate with the team members. They will know what they're responsible for. Oh, here she's back. She's back, cool. I want to make sure Jenny Cole gets this too. Let us know when you can hear us, Jenny Cole, because we got some goodies for you.
I can hear you.
Got it.
Lovely. So what we're talking about, Jenny Cole, is we just identified, like on the lighthouse spectrum, on the wealth spectrum, where Tommy is at. It sounds like you're going from green. Wait, sorry. Can you repeat where you're at, Tommy?
From
just
yellow.
So
I'm a
from
yellow
to
player,
green.
which means that my business is going well, but it relies on me and my time. The next level is a green performer, which means that I enable high performance teams and I step back. That's where I'm at.
Beautiful. So yeah, I would love for you to identify what level you're on, Jamie Cole. Do you still have your Millionaire Master Plan book?
I do, yes.
Okay, so I want you to walk away from this call possibly to knowing exactly what level you're on and what your next level is, so you know your strategy to rise up. And one of the things that we identified with Tommy, which I think you may be in a similar position, is that if you're going from yellow to green and from doing everything yourself to empowering team, then one of the things is really having tools and clarity to powerfully support our team members. There's a scorecard that it looks like this. I don't know if you can see it. This is what it looks like on mobile. And it's what it looks like when you have the dark theme. But it should be in your client folder. I dropped it off last week, I believe. And it really walks you through everything, literally everything that another team member needs to know for them to be really fucking effective. Same when we say clarity creates reality. In manifesting our dream clients and dream partners and just epic experiences, same with team, manifesting your dream team. And so this is the tool to create such deep depth of clarity and a communication tool, so that once it's set up, it's kind of black and white, basically. It's like, yo, did you achieve your KPIs, your key performance indicators? Why or why not? What needs to happen so you can get back on track, you know? So this takes overwhelm out of the equation. I've hired so many like assistants and different partners, and I've had all of the headaches that you can have. So I really want to save you like years and thousands of dollars in wasted money and time by getting it right, you know? And obviously there's imperfect action, so it's better just do it and figure it out on the way. And if we can take imperfect action and learn from other people's mistakes, we'll get better results faster. Are you with me on that? Cool. So Janie Cole, checking in. What has been your biggest accomplishment, and what do you believe your biggest bottleneck is in your life and business at the moment?
At the moment, I would say my biggest accomplishment is this flow that I'm in is in my acting career. Like I have a big callback this week and another audition this week, and Book of Mormon has been going really well. And also I've been working, like getting back into the habit of doing in-person auditions has been a challenge. And so I've been working with a hypnotherapist to kind of get over the subconscious beliefs that are holding me back in that area. And that has been successful. So I feel really strong going into these two auditions, this callback and this audition this week. So that is a huge accomplishment. So all of that together, just that flow in that area. And so my biggest challenge is the same thing that is one of the same things that's the same as my client's challenge. And that is balancing that with doing consistent income generating activities. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. So as you're sharing that, I also would guess that you're in a similar position going from yellow level player to green level performer, where, you know, yellow player says, I love what I do and I create my own flow. And green level player says, I create flow through team and rhythm. And so really being able to have other people do things for you so that you can continue staying in your genius zone. And whether you're having a week where you're, flying out to be on a Marvel set or getting an award or whichever, that sort of business and income activities don't stop when you're having your best life experience. Would you agree that that's about the level we're at, going from yellow level player to green level player, from green level performer?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, beautiful. So this is the work. This is so exciting, and it is so worth it. It is so scary, just like with any new adventure. Like it's another whole leap, trusting others to support us. So this is really all about getting the tools and the mindset into place to allow ourselves to be fully supported. So balance. There's like no perfect balance, right? I want to say that there's like no 50-50 or whichever. It's, Myron, you used to say that when you're in focus, you're not in balance, and when you're in balance, you're not in focus. But I understand that you want to have a minimum sort of baseline of income and that continues to stay no matter what you do, and like the financial freedom formula, right? And so this might be a really great exercise for you, Jenny Cole, to get clear on like what are the key activities and key performance indicator that you're currently doing that need to be delegated or automated so that they can continue to happen even when you're not doing them, Are you with me? Did we lose her again? Okay, we'll get Jenny back.
I'm here. I just can't answer all the time, but I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay, great, lovely, and we'll catch up on this one-on-one as needed too, and we still have a call good with me anyway. Beautiful. So yeah, so what I want to do is I want you to understand the document that you've been given, so you can see yourself implementing it with your sort of next hire. I know that Jenny Cole, you have the a couple of people on your radar to employ, and so this will help them so much to know what you're expecting of them, and as a conversation tool, as a communication tool. You know what? I won't I'm going to answer some questions that Tommy may have around this, but I think there's more important things that we can spend this time together on. On a high level, just going to go over what's here. The role scorecard will cover like the name of the person that it's for, when they join, the vision for the role, and it has some concrete examples in it. For example, the vision for this person is to help this company to get to consistent target number by date, right? By helping, and then how? So by helping optimize and help manage much of the marketing and support marketing need to drive results. So like literally, if you could say, my, vision for your role is that you get this company to help us make consistent 10K a month, even when I'm not there, right? Wouldn't that be great? I hired, give you an example, my marketing team now consists of Ken, and who's an amazing funnel builder and copywriter and just multi-talented, amazing human being. And we have my brain, Adam, who's my ads guy right now, and he's creating the evergreen funnel. So while I'm focusing on filling the events and doing what I know how to do organically, they're working on the consistent, no predictable, systemized flow of leads, so that people are consuming the masterclass and can then choose to dive deeper, whether I'm showing up for them or not. And I know we already have that funnel in place for you. Danico already built that funnel out. So now it's time to drive traffic to it. And then the other part of it is when you have a product for a delivery, like a masterclass or something that can be bought without you having to do high-level enrollment for it, then you can start building your buyers list literally while you're sleeping. And that is so, so valuable, because making emails, offers, or whichever way you communicate to your people to a buyers list, your conversions are always going to be exponentially greater than sort of emailing a cold market of people who haven't bought from you before, who didn't experience your work yet. So having that buyers list automated on growth is going to, over time, guarantee that you have an audience big enough that anytime you make an offer, anytime you make a post, anytime you send an email, you will have buyers. And with predictability now, you can grow. You can grow without having to put in any more work. So that's the high level idea of it. Does that make sense so far? I'm imagining she's listening. Cool. Beautiful. So, Tommy, I want to turn it over to you. With this document and information we shared, what questions do you have around that? And if it's none, that's perfect. By all means, this is not like a one-stop fix. This is going to be a journey of learning a new skill. And so by all means, questions may come up as we go along. What I want you to do, make a copy of that document. And can you think about like your next person that you need to bring into your business? Do you know where you would start even?
It's a good question. I'm saving it into my drive now. I think that there's a few options. It could be, I mean, I basically have just hired somebody part-time to be my, I guess, like social media manager. I already have my assistant doing social media management, but she's more of like a social media assistant than a manager. Like, she's not handling like the creative behind it. I want somebody to take the content, whatever. So that I can explain in more detail, but that's something that I have empowered someone to do who I know like can do a great job. And I think that sending her this role scorecard could help.
what would be like her responsibility, like two posts per day, or I mean, I don't know, I'm just giving you like, well, what might be some concrete, tangible like KPIs that are measurable for her to accomplish that she can be responsible for?
Yeah, she'll be responsible for posting. It's not a certain amount a day, that's less important, but it's of making the Guatemala retreat look so can't miss that people have to sign up for the next retreat. So
Beautiful.
it's more of like the essence through Instagram posts, through the content that we created.
Yeah, this is great. I think that what will support you there a lot, Tommy, is having a measurable, like how will you know that she's done a good job? How will she know that she's done a good job? Having that in a measurable context, that's the other component. So you have the essence, the feeling part of it, which is really important. Now adding the measurable bit, that's going to be really empowering. Because that way, when you have your annual review or whichever, or quarterly even, you give her feedback. I'm imagining it's a woman for some reason, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. that way, it's like you have something to discuss that's objective and baselines. You have standards, like this is what I expect from you. You have like what overachieving looks like for like praise and growth and like amazing, and you also have like red zone, like when you go here and something needs to change. So, so you want to have this sort of almost like a stoplight system, and that's what that document will help you with identifying. And
yeah, I think that's great. I think that that could be the number of people who apply. So if we have a large number of people applying to the retreat, then that's success for me. That's the metric I want to go by.
Epic. That's great, because then you can reverse engineer all of the insights for what posts you do when. Okay, how many applications did it lead to? Then did it work? Great. If it didn't work, then delete. Why didn't it work? Then just like let go of that and do more of what works, and you just optimize around what's working. That's lovely.
And then I want someone else to be my like automations or sequences manager to be making sure that we are coming out with enough emails and have a plan that is like a sustainable plan. It keeps me is the point person for that, so that even if I am the one writing the email, that we're not going 2 months without sending anybody any updates and keeping people up to date.
And so rhythm is going to be what I feel like is going to be important for you. Like, what is the cadence at which these things happen? Do you have a monthly newsletter or a weekly broadcast? I think those things, like my assistant Charisse, she calls them OGs. Like OGs are, geez, what does the acronym stand for? So basically, reoccurring tasks. I don't know why they're called OGs anymore. There's an acronym for it, but it's really, really great.
Not because original gangster.
It's not original gangster, but it's OGs. Okay. And so she asked me what are my tasks for the week, and then which of them are the OGs, and which of them are going to be recurring. And that's going to help you so much, because then what happens is when you have a problem, instead of hey, assistant, fix this, it's like, hey, how can we fix this forever? Like, how can we use a system that will eliminate this problem for good?
Cool. You're creating a rule instead of creating an exception.
Beautiful. Well said. Creating a rule instead of an exception. Beautiful. So I want to switch gears here a little bit. And just remember a time, like I want you to realize that you're already great at being a team leader and being a team player. Do you remember a time that you were sort of in charge of a project? Maybe it was in school, maybe you're part of a sports team, but like something needed to happen, and it was kind of on you to make it happen, but you couldn't do it all by yourself. Like, where were you? What happened? What did you do? And if Jenny Kolg is here for it, I would love to hear from you too. So you're already great at doing this.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, do you remember a time that like it was kind of on you to make something happen, but you couldn't do it all by yourself? and you needed to rely on team to take responsibility and get stuff done, and it ended up working out.
Yes.
I have a good example of that.
Okay, let's go with Janie Cole, and then we'll hear your story. What happened for you when you're being a team player, when you're being a team lead?
It was when I produced my digital series. I needed a team of people to raise the money for it and then to produce it. I couldn't do that by myself. And so we did it.
Say more about that. That sounds like a big deal.
It's a huge deal. What more do you want me to say?
So what role did you play in that as a team lead, and then like how did you empower people to do what they needed to do for it to be a success in the end?
Well, I identified who I needed to bring on the team and put out postings for that, and brought people, interviewed and brought people onto the team who were appropriate, and some people worked out and some people didn't. And then we would bring on other people to replace the people that didn't work out, and eventually we got our core team. It was smaller than I wanted it to be, but it was the people who are really dedicated to it. And again, we started with the fundraising, and then we moved into pre-production, and then we moved into production, and then post-production, and then
Beautiful.
and then marketing and getting the word out about it, and then eventually selling it.
Amazing. Literally everything you described is exactly the same way you would launch like a business, you know? Do you see how that's kind of the same process?
Absolutely, yes.
And so if you look thinking about your business right now, we're in the process, and you're mapping it across the event, like not event, but like movie production process. Like what stage are you at right now?
I think that's a good question. I would say I think I was in production, and now I'm going back to pre-production to make things more efficient.
Beautiful. And so given that you're in pre-production, what are the key players that you need to involve now for that to really work?
A strong assistant, as well as an ads manager, and probably somebody probably like Natalie, like a back-end operations manager.
For sure. And then when you were doing event production time, did you have those roles filled too? Like you had a person that was kind of like Adam, or kind of like an ads person, or you have somebody who was kind of like Natalie who did things on the back end for the delivery to be smooth. Did you have something like that? Someone like that?
No, not really. I basically was doing everything and just I was heading everything and delegating.
Okay. So this is the key, and I think this is great, Jane, because you're a Blaze genius like me. Your brain works similar to mine, and this is where it's important to have the specific breakdown, the $97 test that gives you the percentages of just how much supporter, deal maker, and percentages of each you have. Like I literally have like almost zero skill genius according to my mapping, but I also know I'm not limited by any personality test to what I'm able to do. What you want to do is like delegate a result. There's roles, responsibilities, and results. And one of the biggest things I learned from my many mentors is that, like what not to do is say, hey, you're in charge of this, but if you don't do it well, I'm still going to do it, It's to really let somebody feel the whole weight of being responsible for something, and then empowering them and believing them until they get there, you know? So what's happening a lot of times, one of the early mistakes we make as entrepreneurs, like trying to delegate, is like saying, hey, help me out. Like, so here's you can do this, but you can't do everything. You can do anything, but you can't do everything, right? Here's you. And then here's a person that you're delegating to, and you're saying, hey, you do this. But when they're starting to do it, you're like, hey, let me do it too. And so you have this overlapping thing happening, and it's basically removing the integrity from them having the power to do it. So allowing people to go through the process, failing at it a little bit, making mistakes at it a little bit, that's part of the learning. So our job as entrepreneurs and creating a culture, creating an organization and something that can live on beyond us, that will support us and our families beyond ourselves, is to create, and this is the key, an environment for people where they can feel safe to fail. An environment for people where they can feel safe to fail. That is the key. I worked with one of the top marketing agencies in the world. It's called VML, very little known name, but yet behind really big brands. T-Mobile, when it was still Sprint, they were one of the clients, multi-billion-dollar company, and also did consulting for, Cerner, which is the medical health, like health IT. When something didn't go right, we're talking about medical records of actual live patients being at stake. And so really high pressure environment, and still we had to go in and experiment with things. It was fucking crazy. And the best leaders would do things like on day one tell us, hey, your number one job is make a ton of mistakes and ask a ton of questions. If you don't break something, then I imagine you're not playing hard enough, And so when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, I am really empowered to try to bring my thoughts into the world here and to be creative and to bring myself in, and I can try stuff even if it doesn't work. I'm still going to be rewarded for trying rather than punished for failure, if that makes sense. And you may already be doing this, but I just wanted to stress this because, one of the things as we do marketing for our clients and attracting new people to come into our business, then we want to have great delivery so they continue working with us and sign up for all the things. Same with talent. When they come in, we want to give them a quick win experience where they can fucking crush it, so they want to continue working with us and tell all their friends that this is a great place to be part of. Is that making sense? And so the good thing is, so we already have a system for like the Manifest X growth model. We already have a system for growing your business, marketing, creating leads. And we have, the Abundance Accelerator is the program for that, which, by the way, I'll share more about this in just a second. I'm noticing the time. It's just like fine. I'll share more about the Abundance Accelerator, which Natalie's helped create. It's the course that covers the marketing, resonance, right? How dream clients come to you. It covers enrollment coaching, the meta model, and all of the incredible systems and tools for being empowered with your sales skills. And it covers quite a few mindset and energy upgrades as well. And the transformation experiences, including profitable retreats and everything. So that course has been put together meticulously behind the scenes. Natalie has been working on it. I'm going to work with her this week to open up for YouTube to get early access to. And so the reason I'm sharing all of this is then the next level of the evolution is to implement the same system, marketing, resonance, right? Enrollment coaching and transformation experiences without you doing all of the things. And so having that system become an assessment to where your bottlenecks are in your business is going to be super fucking key. So for example, like I always thought that my biggest bottleneck was sales when I started this journey, but I didn't have enough leads to make offers to. And so what I really learned is I had to build my audience more. I had to actually master attracting leads, how to make a post where people raise their hands, how to, create a community where I constantly add value to people and all that good stuff. So, so there is visibility, people just being aware of what you do, and what's the other word I'm looking for? Connection is like having the two-way conversation. And there is the opportunity to make an offer. So this goes back to the value buckets, where we're filling up the bucket of people who are being aware of what we do, and then we're filling up the bucket of the people who are in communication with us, prospects, where we can qualify them, whether it's application form or otherwise, and we're filling up the sales opportunity bucket, people that we can make an offer to because they've seen the work that we do, experienced some value, and potentially we can take them deeper. So, all right, I digress. Like, based on what we discussed, like, what have been your biggest takeaway when it comes to truly scaling your business and having other people support you in your growth?
I would say being very clear about what their purpose is and giving them the space and the safety to be able to be themselves, to fail.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And this is where Hyla comes in. Like, one of the tools for our enrollment practice, it's highly involved and low levels of attachment. And one of the things too with our vision, this is where we get spiritual with it. Similar to when, I do an enrollment, and people share their dreams and their goals with me, in my mind, done. Like, you want that? Done. Already done, That's how I'm helping them manifest what it is that they desire, and it gives me the confidence to see it. Similar with your staff and team, ask them, what are your personal goals? What is your end game? Like, where do you want to go? Maybe they're in a place where, hey, I don't know what I want to do. Great. Maybe throughout working together, you have more clarity about what you want, already see basically what the ultimate outcome is and their potential. Have that in your mind so that you, as you're working with them and you're around these team members, they will rise up to the high potential, the high vision that you hold for them. And also have opportunities for growth, right? So if you're bringing, let's say, I think that's the thing, like with Adam, it was very easy to say, look, do a really good job here. And chances are I'm going to recommend you to all of my clients who are fucking badasses, And so I'm going to hold the vision that, I asked him about his financial goals, his personal goals, his freedom goals and everything. And he told me, like, cool, that's my goal then. You working with me, I want that, our collaboration be fueling you getting what you want. Because that's ultimately what success is. It's not just getting what we want here for ourselves selfishly, it's helping other people get what they want. And that's creates the magic. That creates the magic of momentum, including team. Does that make sense? Cool. I want to share with you this last bit about it, the way I see it now. Big revelation. I mean, it's a revelation that's been coming through, but I'm just like stopping resisting it since I've been doing a lot of listening. Is there's a time, as a Blaze genius, so maybe this is applicable for you, more for you, Jenny Cole, than for Tommy, but for Tommy, really good to understand the Blaze geniuses in your life and their evolution. There's a there's like this star, like there's this time to really stepping into star power for any Blaze. And I don't know how much of star you have too, Tommy, but I wonder if you have a little star in you. You said 0, like I'm not that person. Interesting, because you're so dynamic.
My girlfriend doesn't believe me, but that's what I scored, a 0% place.
Interesting. It's crazy. So I think, long story short, like what I'm noticing is for us as Blaze geniuses, going from being the most interesting person in the room to being the most interested. And I think this is kind of maybe universal, Tommy. I don't know if there's something there for you too, but for me, going from like having to be Iron Man or Thor or whichever, which there'll be times I'll step into that role as needed. Really enjoying the role of Nick Fury. It's like, yo, the world needs this. There's entrepreneurs who are isolated. There's like this big opportunity to create a new earth and create something awesome together where we do our generational healing, and bring about generational worth and freedom and abundance and impact and all of that. And I can't do it by myself. We need heroes like there's room for heroes to come in and step up, and I would like for it to be you. That frame I feel like has been way more magnetic and authentic, to be honest, and made things happen more effortlessly. I think about like Thailand, for example. This retreat I'm so excited about, and I've literally tried I have tried to make it happen for like 3 years, but I also noticed myself working very hard to sort of do it. I didn't really allow my guidance to take over, which is what I'm doing now, and just like finding the aligned people who are so fucking perfect, for it to be the divine, like high energy experience that I've wanted it to be. But when I sort of try to just make it happen, like heroing it, I worked way harder than necessary. And I think I shared with you the Fiji manifestation, right? Tell me if I have not. The story of like how the Fiji project came together. Yeah, Tommy knows. Jenny, cool, I think I heard too. Like one of the biggest things that the feedback I was getting when I told people, hey, this is not the Miro show. I just have this vision of 100+ healers in a room, all having incredible gratitude and deep, heartfelt like love and joy. And I can't do this by myself. Like, how is this going to go? And all of these resources and things came together for this to happen. So I'm really excited to share more as that evolves. But when it became we greater than me, like there's this universal force, right? It's kind of like the mission post. Like when it becomes mission over man, then like the universal resources that are becoming available for this thing that's greater than you to come into life and come into form, it's just exponentially amplified. If you think about the number of people that supported MLK and like the Black, civil rights movement, that was fucking powerful. And it wasn't that MLK said, I have a dream, I personally want to be free and help me get free, guys. That wasn't what he said. He had a vision for the world. And I think one of the things that I want you guys to take away from this as you're sharing your stories is getting really clear, what does the new earth look like for you? Like, what is the new world that you're taking a stand for and creating? That is going to be magnifying and attracting new clients come in and support and attention. And that's going to make the difference between a team that's freaking committed, and like sort of just mercenaries who are like hired guns. Is that making sense? Okay, I'm gonna shut up for a second. I'm just gonna do a little Q&A and just be really in my listening zone, to make sure you get what you need, and literally can ask anything, whether it's marketing, sales, mindset, team related, or yeah, literally anything. I think there's a lot here. Go ahead, Tommy.
I think I'm realizing that my resistance to legitimately delegating to creating a team, is that I don't know what amount of money is worth spending for it. So, what I get for a $500 investment, I know is very different than what I'm going to get for a $5,000 investment. And I don't have clarity on like what my actual budget is to know, like, can I pay for someone to do like 5 hours a month, or can I pay for someone to do 5 hours a week or 5 hours a day? I don't really know. And so I've been dragging my feet. Like all the stuff you're saying, I like, and I haven't even gotten started really because this all costs money. And it's triggering my like scarcity mindset, right? Where it's like, I
Yeah.
don't want to risk it. That's what's happening.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Tommy. Like, that's very natural to come up, and I'm so grateful that you have that insight. I think I want to say a career awareness. Like, that deserves snaps just to know, okay, I'm having some money scarcity, and like, how do I know this is a good decision? And like, how much am I supposed to spend on this for it to create an ROI? You know? So beautiful. So I would say, you know, there's the energetics of it, and then there's the strategy of it. And you know, for me, for the longest time, I just like didn't know and I had no clue. But now, if you're, you know, so this is why this is so great, but the scorecard will support you a lot too. So if you look at, so first of all, let's go back to the basics. Time versus money. Which one is the greater asset? Which is more valuable?
Time.
So what are you doing in essence with your first few hires is you're buying your time back. That's what you're doing. You're buying your time back. You can operate more in your genius zone. When I say genius zone, where you make the biggest impact. And where you make the biggest impact, it's where the business grows the most, you know? And so Myron talks about the story about the lawnmower person, you know? Jenny Cole had to leave, and that's okay. So, you know, some people love to cut their own grass. And that's great. They should be cutting the grass because it gives them joy. Other people, you know, say, you know, you want to come down to like what your hourly productive rate is. You know, maybe for an hour of your time, so say when you're working, like this is some math I did a couple years ago. If you wanted to make $1 million in revenue a year, and you worked 38 hours of like active working time per week, that's roughly around $500 per hour of your productive value. So it's give or take. It's not a perfect math, but if I do 500 times 38 hours equals to $500 times 38 hours times, let's say 50 weeks. That's 950,000. So that's about $1 million. Okay, fair enough. So what does that mean? That means that if you value your hour at $500, which yours might be higher, you know, because you may not want to work 38 hours a week, and you may not want to work 50 weeks per year, you know. So your hourly rate is already higher. What I know about you, which is perfect. Let's see. So with that being the case, if I'm delegating cutting the grass for say 2 hours per week, then I could use those 2 hours to like watch Netflix, and literally nothing changes in terms of my bottom line, right? Or I can use those 2 hours to focus on my high income money generating activity, right? And then so that's where leverage comes in. When literally, so let's say you want to get clear on this. What is your joy and your genius zone? It's literally in your business, you're only allowed to do 3 things. That's it. What would be those 3 things? Your dream job, right? This would be your dream job description. For the rest of your life, you're only allowed to do 3 things. What would be those 3 things?
I mean, I love doing super conscious therapy sessions. I love making things organized, making things make more sense, like simplifying things, like creating frameworks. I guess I like creating frameworks. I love creating frameworks, and I really like releasing new content.
So now imagine a world, right? Where all you do is release new content, create amazing frameworks, and do super conscious therapy. That's all you do. Literally so your job right now in your business is find the people who like take everything else off of your plate. Everything that's not that. And and when you're down to those last three things, then you'll want to find people who can even take over that, so that it doesn't become a job that you're having to do, but an option, right? You have a protege, somebody that can step in for you, and you may get passionate about something else at some point. So that is your joy and your genius zone, what you love to do and you're great at.
Well, how do I know that? I mean, that might not be my genius zone.
And that's okay.
Or
some of those, yeah, right. So when you say that's not your genius zone, you mean that you're not the best in the world at those things yet? Or what do you mean?
Yeah, like that it's learning it's still a skill that I'm learning.
And that's
doesn't
okay.
necessarily come naturally.
Yeah. That's okay, because even though you're not like you're not great at it, you're becoming great at it, and you're committed to the mastery of.
Because I love it. Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Okay, so I like what you're saying. So you're basically saying, like, what if all I did was super conscious therapy sessions, released content, and created frameworks, then I need to start giving everything else to someone else.
Exactly.
That's the job. That's the work right now.
That's the work.
But yeah.
So this is really cool. I kind of want to draw this out on a picture for you. And I just might. You want to do a little drawing together?
Okay.
I really did not expect this to come up the way that it does, but I'm so grateful that, yeah, these sessions are always exactly what's needed. We're also streaming on YouTube, so what's up, YouTube people? If you're here, drop a comment if you're still rocking. This is a new endeavor for us, so cool. I'm gonna grab my marker and we're gonna make a picture. Cool. Is this visible? Can you read this? Or is it too far?
No.
It's too far, right? No problem. Let's see. We got options. I can bring the table over. That's how I'm gonna do it. 1 second. Oh, plug. If you haven't yet, buy this book. And
I have the audio book. I started it.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to do a total immersion experience. What I mean by that is you listen to the audiobook and you read the book and you write it. Like you take notes on it, you scribble in it. It doesn't matter. Make it your own. That's so your full body is.
Reading that book brought me to my question, which is that he's talking about like a team as if you already have employees that you're already paying for. And I feel like a lot of that's not quite relevant for me yet because I'm like I don't have those bodies hired.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So I think the other part of your exercise that's maybe even more technically relevant for you right now, before we even get into the value chain, is what are the money generating activities, right? What are the money generating activities? Because if you're really good at having those happen without you doing them, that's when money comes in without you even trying. Your business starts growing without your consent.
That's what I'd be willing to pay for. Like, that's the easiest thing for me to pay for too, because I see the immediate, like paying for a social media manager, someone to post on my blog has been like hard to rationalize because of it's like long-term play.
Yeah. So we already, I want you to acknowledge you already did this at least once, having a setter. Like, I know Arish was part of your team once for a period. Maybe it wasn't a good fit, but we want to look at why. So that's so there's a setter and a closer. And I actually have scripts for that. So having an appointment setter, that's one strategy that you can use. And so we can design a system for you that will get you appointments and then somebody to start doing enrollment, but at first you want to automate that and you have a script that works. Can you teach the script that you have to another person?
Yeah, I could. I think that I'd rather bring people. I feel like creating a good email marketing strategy is like my version of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
so
I don't think getting cold people onto a call is my move. I think I'd rather get warm people into I need more people in my fast lane. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people from the window shopping into my fast lane.
That's also fucking great.
So I think it's more about more people seeing my content and more people interacting with me on my monthly workshops. It's more people seeing what I'm already doing, so that I can sell at scale instead of having somebody else do exactly what I've been doing.
Yeah, I think one of the things that could work just as well for you as it will for Jenny Cole and myself is having what they call SLO, like a self-liquidating offer, where it's like a $97, $27 masterclass or product that people can buy, and the first goal is that you break even on the ad spend, basically. That will be the only goal, because then when you break even on ad spend and say you spend $30 for somebody to buy a $30 masterclass, or $90 for somebody to buy a $90 masterclass. Now that's the person that opts in with their email and their phone number. They're going through your testimonials and your results. They're getting an experience of working with you. And now your email list grows consistently without you even trying. And then the next step is to only get somebody to continue writing the email that you write, learning your language, getting into your head, basically. And then start.
That's what I want to do.
So that route.
Yeah. I'd rather have more people find a way to automate new email subscribers. That's it.
Beautiful, dude. So many incredible, amazing ways to do that. So now we know the question. It's let's get it even more crystal clear. In your own words, what is the person that you're looking for? What will be their responsibility, and what's the specific, tangible, measurable result?
I don't know what they'd be called, but it's kind of like a email growth manager, email growth hacker, email marketing.
I think it's
email leads generator.
So when it comes to growing your audience and your list, I'm thinking about two things. One is growing your buyers list, or even your audience. Growing your list, growing your buyers list. Spoil over. And the other part is nurturing ongoing messaging to your email list.
Yes.
Right. So let's draw this out. This is where the value chain comes in, actually. I'm having so much fun with this. So what the value chain is, Tommy, it's the exact process from total fucking stranger to raving customer and referral, end to end. It's your end to end process. So it comes in sort of squares, and the first thing is like awareness, right? Can you see this now? Is this close enough?
Yeah, especially if you say it as you write it.
Okay, great. So the first thing is awareness, and that can be
And
accomplished.
this is end-to-end process from stranger to what?
To
like
raving customer, like testimonial, and referral.
Raving customer.
And you want to go all the way to referral, because if your chain, your value chain, your whole system process, your entire business process, basically, if it includes receiving referrals, now you don't just have a funnel, which is you put something in on the top and it's like dissipates at the bottom. It becomes like a flywheel. When you put something in at the top, and then it comes two more, and it feeds on top of itself. So we're gonna get into it. So does it make sense?
Cool. Yeah.
So you got awareness too. I honestly don't know the official terms of this. I may have to review some of my material. But like, this is marketing 101, right? So you got awareness, and you have like, let's say interest. So like prospects, let's say the qualifying stage. Qualifying. Maybe let's use your own words. So what happens? Currently what happens? Somebody's getting awareness in your business. Like, they're becoming aware of Tommy Sobel Gobrick. Like, what happened? Where is this happening in your business?
People are finding me on YouTube, podcasts, Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
And
then, so what is their like call to action, the link that they click or the step that they take to go from the awareness phase to the next sort of, to like experiencing more of you? Like, what happens next?
They'll either take my lead magnet quiz, or they will just sign up with their email on my website, or they will. Yeah, is that too fast?
When you say email website, is it like a newsletter or what?
They're signing up to join the community on my website. So they get to join the community, the BRIC community of like forward thinkers, innovators, and influencers. Beautiful,
beautiful. This is great because at this point you own your audience.
Yeah.
So when YouTube goes down or whichever, you can your own audience. This is key. So great.
Exactly.
Quizzes are great. That creates a problem awareness for them too. So that's taking them from the slow lane to the sidewalk to slow lane, right? Totally. So they're looking at your YouTube, whichever side. That's like the sidewalk, right? Like, oh, that's cool. That kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And you take a peek, right? So they take the quiz, and some of them are gonna be like, "Yo, I have a problem. I didn't know I have a problem." Fuck. Right. And so they move forward. So they opt in for the email. They start getting your offers and messages. What happens next?
Well, there's another way in, which is following me on Instagram. And if they follow me on Instagram, then I send them a message, automated message, to give them an opportunity to join the community by email as well.
Yeah, so that's great. So whatever happens at your awareness stage, YouTube, podcast, IG, they're all going to go to the same assessment, the same quiz, and we're always going to capture the email.
Right. They might skip the quiz and go straight to joining the community, but yes.
Beautiful. So here's the thing. What I already know is going to be a key indicator for your business success is going to be around the number of emails that you send.
Okay.
Just because everything funnels down to you nurturing your email list. Yeah. That's how you're currently creating business.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
that's
now
where everything's funneling to.
So if you wanted to multiply your income, I would ask you to duplicate yourself, clone yourself inside of the way you do email. Find a protege who can be as amazing as you are at email, or better. And then the rule from the delegation book is 70%. If they're 70% as good as you, perfect. Right?
Okay.
So you just want to know if they can do 70% of as good of a job as you do, because now you don't have to do it anymore. You can train 2 people to do it. You know what I mean? Like it's leverage. You know, you get your time back. So, and a good copywriter will do this. They will literally like get into your brain, see how you think, see how your mannerisms, how you talk, and eventually they get so good that you can't even tell the difference. You know, I know Scott Olford is a great example, dude. Like I know his copywriter is Cameron Snow, and you could never tell that it's not actually Scott sending those emails. Beautiful.
Okay. Yeah.
Same.
That'd be
all of
amazing
the greats
if I did
have that. Tony Robbins, etc. They don't write their own emails anymore. Cool.
That'd be
cool.
amazing
So your
to find
email.
that person.
Yeah. And I, my brain, how my brain operates. The information is, I'm already working on some people that I can connect you with. So now from email, they're getting messages. What happens next?
They get invited to my low ticket offers and sometimes my zigs and my zags, basically.
Offers. Okay.
My evergreen and my offers.
Cool. And then typically the way they buy the offers is through a call or through a landing page.
Typically it's through a call. Sorry that I'm eating, but I actually have not had breakfast yet, if you can believe it.
Oh my God.
Which is so horrible. But
self-care, my friends. Take care of yourself.
I know. Mistake in my calendar today. So yeah, currently it's with one-on-one calls with me, but I think with the 30-day challenge, it can be a Samcart sales page, which I've already been developing. I'm like, that's one of my half-built bridges.
Yeah, challenges are really great because challenges can lead to enrollments without sales calls.
Right.
It depends, right? Up to a certain level that you need a call, like a call again. But yeah, I mean, we can. So this is great. What we're doing here is we're creating a custom value chain system for your whole business. So we're going to have call in here and then 30-day challenge, doing Samcart. So has this been proven? Like your 30-day challenge has not yet led to buyers, but calls have, right? Obviously, yeah, calls have.
I've pre-sold my 30-day challenge to 5 people, and I am currently in the beta, but I actually paused the beta because of some feedback that I was getting, some constructive feedback. Now even beta is on hold, and that's been another half-built bridge that's been lingering on my mind.
So I encourage you, I don't know what the specific feedback is. I don't know if it's relevant, but I encourage you to complete that beta because the goal of the beta is not to have it perfect, it's to get feedback. And so you can continue making mistakes with the beta and collecting even more feedback on the process. So then your 1.0 version has all of the feedback as opposed to stopping, implementing the change, and then starting over,
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you can still extract more. You're cutting off a little bit. Yeah, so then
that's good to hear because I've been thinking about it the other way.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, you're part of a beta, so I get marketing feedback. Your benefit is you get to go through this process and the results that you're getting from this. But it's actually for us to create a program that's for hundreds of thousands of people. It's not about you, sir. Does that make sense? It is, and you're part of a greater project. That's how I'll paint the picture. It's like, hey, your opinion is really important. I'm gathering your feedback, and thank you. I promise I'm gonna make those changes. Will you continue this process and tell me what else you can find along the journey so that the next people don't have to go through these struggles? Well, does that make sense?
It does. I think as I'm thinking in more detail, it was because most of the people just kind of fell off.
Oh, dude,
Like,
I have
weren't
an incredible tool I learned from my friend Doug. We've been in a bunch of masterminds together. I'm going to try to bring him into one of our mastermind calls so we can learn from him. He's been crushing it and doing challenges. And what he's doing is, I just bought one of his challenges just because it looked super fun. He's doing these team structures where people actually coming in, self-selecting what team they're on. And then you have to get 5 points for doing a video introduction, 4 points for introducing yourself with a picture. It's in the Facebook group. But you use these teams, then you can name your own team. And what he's accomplished by using the team structure, he has a 90% completion rate. Because it's totally gamified and people want to get their team to win. And so in order to get your team to win, you get points by being engaged. People will participate, get the most out of it, have more fun, and they actually end up buying more in the end too.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so we can play with some team structure things to make your 30-day challenge even more effective.
Yeah.
In fact, I might recommend the challenge that I'm in now, or any of his challenges, Doug, so you can see how he's doing it. He's freaking gangster. I'm gonna take a little note. So I know I'm looking now for Doug Botton is his last name. I can when we get off, I will send you some resources for him. And then I know we're looking for like Cam Snow or like a Cam Snow lookalike, like a copywriter who can emulate you. I don't know if he still does that. Cam might no longer be available to work with mere mortals. He might be one of those people who is just like scaled out of being available. But I'll check with those humans. So what we're looking for is we want a really good. Honestly, I think that the Doug's challenge, it's called the 7-figure sales challenge. And I know that even though he has a salesperson on staff, he doesn't really use them because he launches his offers from challenges. You have to understand he's a student of Russell Brunson, and one of the things that me and Russell Brunson clash a little bit is he will teach low ticket first before high ticket, which I think is great when you have investors and money and whatever. But if you're bootstrapped, like you gotta have those 10 plus high ticket clients. Well, hey, maybe you're there. Maybe you're there where it makes sense to, because we know that when you have like, I think so. Maybe we can pause here because I'm noticing the time. But so I just wanted to kind of paint a picture. This one right here is referrals and testimonials. So you can imagine that there's steps in between. Service delivery. I mean, after them buying an offer, a lot of this part is going to be service delivery, right? Payment processing and all this stuff you could have in here too. But this is literally your entire business mapped, like step by step. What happens first? What happens next? What's working right now? What's worked up until now? And then what's the like low-hanging fruit opportunity for what can be even better? And so when you go through this step by step, the ultimate goal is to remove yourself, literally get everything off of your plate. Awareness. I'm not in charge of that. What's his name does that? Ken does that. But my funnel Ken does that. Or the getting people to go from slow lane to sidewalk to slow lane. I don't do that. My quiz and my website does that. Getting people to up to the offer. I don't do that. My copywriter drops the email. Well, the offers though for a long time, your brain is gonna be really valuable here, Tommy. You're gonna launching offers is probably one of the last things to ever delegate. When you have so many proven offers that your whole stack is just complete and you move on to the next business, that's when somebody else will be putting offers out for you. So
and then what's after offers?
So offers, and then you have all of the components of service delivery. So high level, bro, it's marketing, which is resonance according to the Manifest X growth model. Then it's sales. which is enrollment and coaching. Sometimes we enroll people by coaching them, according to Manifest X growth model, enrollment. And then there's transformational experiences. This is our events, virtual events, and them actually having a life-changing experience, whether it's through coaching or your delivery vehicle is. And so that is the front end of your process. On the back end is more delivery, and you get into offboarding. It's like, cool, what do you love about working together? You know, what's next for you? Why do you choose to leave, or why do you choose to stay, or whatever the case may be.
And
so that is
offboarding?
Yeah, offboarding is the opposite of onboarding.
Right, cool.
Offboarding is more specifically when somebody decides to discontinue, and you're just looking to see what you can learn from them so that you can improve, you know, and if there's anything else that you can do to help them, you know.
Cool. I like that. Yeah, I want to respect your time.
Yeah. So this is good, bro.
Yeah.
I will say, like, this is worth getting into the real nitty gritty about and getting like detailed. But what are your biggest insights from this experience?
I think that I have a lot more clarity on the types of questions that I need to be asking. Like, where can I find a protege who can be my email copywriter? And how can I grow my audience list, and how can I nurture my current list, and like, what are my money generating activities? Because those are the first places that I'd be willing to invest money on to delegate.
Beautiful, bro. Yeah, and honestly, I think you already wrote those down when you do your goal setting, your process goals, you know, like connection calls, enrollment calls, setting out offer emails. Those are going to be money generating activities, I can tell you right now. But yeah, so this is good. And so,
for some reason, I feel like I want to do it chronologically in the funnel. Like, I want to automate like the beginning of the funnel, the awareness first, for some reason.
I understand that's just like sort of how your brain works, and there's actually nothing wrong with that, because you're very methodical. It's kind of like hitting by numbers like a puzzle. And I just want you to know, when you have each step of the process, you can also rearrange the things that something else is in the first position. Does that make sense? And so this may not be, but yeah, I mean, it depends on the season. You know, think about spring. This is spring stuff, lead generation stuff.
Okay.
And then summer is like sales stuff, where you're delegating those things. And then, you know.
Well, right now I'm in fall. So like right now I just made a bunch of sales, and I'm like servicing them mostly, but also kind of in winter, because I want to be finishing my book and finishing my programs. Like,
that is so great. I think you're in a great position to bring on like a head coach, who you could train on your enrollment process, where I can train them. Because that might make sense too. If I were to train them, because I trained you, you know, we created your script together, I give them feedback and everything. Yeah. I've never even thought about that.
That's cool.
But so that way, it's the season. Yeah, you're in a delivery zone. You may find somebody also from within, you know, that's going through your processes that can take over those roles. But there's something more to explore there. Lovely, dude. This has been fun. Thank you for letting me take apart your business a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for letting me take the hot seat.
Yeah, man, you crushed the hot seat. Snaps for Tommy, everybody.
I love the hot seat.
Okay, look at all these people missing out. All this great fun that we're having.
Seriously.
Good stuff.
Awesome,
okay.
man.
We have
better.
I'm gonna stop the streaming here. No. Here we go. Boom. Stop. Okay, well, it's not gonna let me stop streaming. We're complete for today. Tune in for the next episode. We have our call set for Wednesday.
Yeah.